Swadika and good evening. Welcome to, I don't think I should say special program. Our Wednesday evening program. They will give you an update on what's going on in politics in Thailand. We were saying that as soon as we have government, we will not come to see you anymore, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I think after this, it will be your daily update, weekly updates and whatnot. But right now, today, we will give you the latest update on what's going on in politics in Thailand. And there is a lot going on today.
A lot going on because as we're all aware, tomorrow is a big day in Thai politics because the voting of the new Prime Minister of Thailand will take place. But here comes another obstacle because the Election Commission has decided to send Pita's ITV shareholding case to the Constitutional Court for consideration. And this decision came only one day ahead of the joint sitting of the House and the Senate to select a new Prime Minister for Thailand. The Election Commission also asked the court to order Pita to stop performing his duty as an MP immediately until there is a decision by the court in the next 3 days as to whether to accept the case for consideration. The Election Commission agreed with its fact-finding committee's conclusion that there is sufficient evidence to prove that Pita owed 42,000 shares in ITV, a media company, when he registered his election candidacy. In a swift response to the Election Commission's move, the Move Forward Party accused the Commission of not following its own regulations and therefore committing malfeasance in office in accordance with Section 157 of the Criminal Code. Move Forward Party Secretary General Chaitawat Tulathon has accused the Election Commission of acting suspiciously with its hasty decision to ask the Constitutional Court to consider Pita's ITV case without even giving him a chance to defend the case. Chaitawat then warned the Election Commission and other chartered mandated independent organizations not to abuse their authority, as he insisted that Pita will be nominated tomorrow, a nomination which will be voted upon. Meanwhile, it has been revealed that the Constitutional Court could not consider the request to rule on Move Forward Party leader's ITV shareholding case today. And this is according to a high-ranking source at the court. The high-ranking source said that the case needs to be reviewed for its accuracy by a committee before sending it to another committee to determine whether to accept it for consideration. And it is expected that the matter will be placed on the agenda for the next meeting. And the meeting by the court, it actually takes place every Wednesday. So the agenda this week has already been set, so it is very likely that they will consider next week.
Well, it will be interesting to see the timeline, how fast, how slow, how long it will take. Definitely, it's something that everybody wants to know the update, whether they're on the same side with Pita or not. I think it's the biggest subject right now.
Well, based on the story, we can see who is on Pita's side or not. It's very clear. And since the story broke out this morning, many of the netizens online has criticized the move, and they actually revived the same hashtag where it says, "What's the point of having the Election Commission?" They revived that same hashtag once again. And not only that, many of the anti-government protesters, one of them being Anun Nampa, has made a statement that they will be demonstrating tonight to actually fight for democracy and demanding that the Election Commission should respect the people's decision, especially during the elections.
So as the tomorrow, whatever going to happen tomorrow, we have talked to the political analysts of the possible scenario for the road to premiership of Pita Limjaroenrat. And tomorrow in the parliament, there will be 500 member parliaments and 250 senators convened to select the country's 30th prime minister. So even though he was ordered to not being active as a member of parliament anymore, but as Thai law and constitution that you don't have to be member of parliament to be nominated as a prime minister. So we will assume that tomorrow they will still propose Pita Limjaroenrat as the next prime minister. So Move Forward Party leader Pita Limjaroenrat is the main candidate for the top job, as he is backed by a coalition of 8 political parties with a combine of 312 votes. Led by Move Forward, which won the May 14 election with 151 seats, the coalition commands a majority in the House of Representatives that would be enough to elect Pita as the Prime Minister if only MPs could vote. However, a provisional clause in the Constitution allowed the Senate to join the lower house in electing the Prime Minister. Anyone nominated for the Prime Minister's seat requires majority support from both houses or at least 376 votes. That means Pita needs at least 64 more votes to achieve the required majority, and it won't be easy for him and Move Forward to achieve that goal. Analysts say some point to a high possibility of Pita failing to win the Prime Minister's seat. So what are the possible scenarios in the selection of the new leader? According to Oran Thin Bangteo, a lecturer at Burapha University's Faculty of Political Science and Law, the first scenario is that Pita gets enough support from senators and all member parliaments outside his coalition. He pointed to signs that many senators will heed the people's voice and vote for Pita in line with the democratic principle. However, he warned that many senators are likely to base their decisions on the elite's interests and refuse to support Pita. If he fails to get enough votes in the first round, Pita will likely be given more chances. But for Olan, 3 rounds of voting should be enough to clear any doubt about parliamentary support for Pita. The second and third rounds are scheduled for July 19th and 20th. So the second scenario, after Pita fails to gain enough votes in 3 rounds, the legitimacy to form a new government will pass to the coalition's second largest party, Pheu Thai. Pheu Thai will nominate its prime minister candidate for the parliamentary vote. This could be either Paetongtarn Shinawatra or Sethra Thavisin, which I think they are kind of smiling inside right now. They cannot make it too obvious, but I'm pretty sure they're smiling inside at the moment.
And if we remember during the last rally before the election, one of them actually said that they are ready to become the next prime minister.
Of course, during election, they have to say they're ready. But anyway, like I said, well, right now they're already in coalition. They sign MOU, hands in hand. They're going to support Pita all the way. But in any case, if there's this second scenario happen, there's a chance that either Sethra Thavisin or Paetongtarn will get to be the next prime minister. However, Olan thinks that there is a possibility that Pheu Thai candidate will fail to get enough votes if the party remains allied with Move Forward. In that case, the 8 coalition parties may need to discuss breaking their alliance as it becomes clear that their coalition is unlikely to get sufficient support from the rest of the parliament. And the third scenario, some partners in the 8-party coalition, particularly Pheu Thai, which has 141 member parliaments, will join forces with parties in the outgoing government, including Phum Chai Thai and Palang Pracharat, in a bid to form the next coalition administration. Move Forward would be unlikely to join this new coalition as the party made it clear in the run-up to the election that it will not work with parties in the outgoing government. Now, fourth scenario, this is, I think, the least likely, is that party is going in the outgoing coalition government, which have about 180 member parliaments between them, will nominate a joint prime minister candidate and receive support from almost all 250 senators. I think that would create a big uproar from the public.
Of course, because Move Forward Party has made a clear stance from the beginning that they will not join forces with any of the parties that support Prayut Chan-o-cha. And just to give a short recap is that Phum Chai Thai and Democrat parties have announced that they will not vote for Move Forward Party, Pita Limjaroenrat to be very specific, because of the party stance in amending the lèse-majesté law.
Now come back to the fourth scenario, the possibility of the outgoing government to form coalition to form a government. Even though they're not going to get the majority of the vote in the lower house, chance is they will get very good number of votes from the senators. But if they get to be prime minister, there will be a minority government, which I don't think is a situation that anyone wants to be in, because it will be lack of stability and will be vulnerable to collapse via a no confidence vote. Dr. Olan said that a majority government is lawful, but it lacks political legitimacy. The analysts also raised the possibility of a fifth scenario, someone outside of the current list of prime minister candidates being nominated for a parliamentary vote. But this option would require an extra vote from both houses, support from at least 2/3 of parliamentarians, or 500 out of 750 is required to get an outsider nominated for the PM post, which I don't think the fifth scenario. I mean, it's possible in theory, but I think it's also very much less likely to happen.
But considering that tomorrow there is only a choice, yes for Pita or no for Pita, but it can be possible where they might think there should be someone else to take that position. So where can Pita get support in order to reach that goal? So Pita can be assured as of now of 311 votes from the eight-party coalition. So 311 because we've excluded the House Speaker, Wan Muhammad Nomatar, who's from the Prasha Party, because Wan Noor is unlikely to vote because he needs to show his neutrality as the new House Speaker. So the Prime Minister hopeful thus needs at least 65 votes to gain the required simple majority of 376. And there are two possible sources of those votes. So the non-coalition political parties with a total of 188 MP seats in the lower house, as well as the Senate, which has 250 members. Move Forward heavyweights recently called on parties outside of their coalition to heed the people's voice and vote for Pita, but parties in the outgoing coalition appear to have retained their unity and are likely to support Pita's bid for the prime ministerial seat. Leaders of these parties announced that they would not back Pita because his party plans to amend Article 112 of the Penal Code, or the lèse majesté law, and many senators have voiced the same concern, insisting that any amendments risk weakening the monarchy and destabilizing the country as well. And despite claims by the key Move Forward party figures of strong senatorial support for Pita, many analysts estimate that he will receive only about 10 to 20 votes from the Senate. Some senators have said they expect fewer than 10 of their colleagues to vote for Pita. And on this matter, meanwhile, Senator Somchai Sawangkan, an outspoken critic of Pita and the Move Forward party, claimed on Monday that there have been attempts to bribe, blackmail, or even harass several senators for their votes as well. So this morning, I came across a news story that they were actually having some sort of deal so that they will not vote for Pita as well, which is quite interesting. In Thai, we call Dak Gloi.
What?
Yeah, Dak Gloi, if literally like giving bananas, but it's like
It's
some sort of deal.
Giving bananas.
Okay,
It's made me think of Minions.
It sounds ridiculous, of course, but in the Thai media, yeah, yes, reminds me of the Minions. But like, you know, in the Thai media, they come up with a lot of slang.
Right.
So, and Jack Doi was one of them. So, what they're actually talking about is like some sort of hidden agenda, hidden deal. So, in exchange with something better. So, it might be like a better position, or they might get something more precious.
But talking about harass and pressure them to vote for Pita, we saw that in the news too.
Yeah.
It's evidence that some senators actually pressure really hard by the public or even by some media to vote for Pita, like got a question asked in a way that like pressuring them and whatnot. So, but we'll see tomorrow who vote for who. Definitely, we'll see tomorrow.
Yes,
There's no other
and
way.
based on the scenarios, we will have to see the real situation tomorrow as well. But anyway, there has been another big story during the past week, which is Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha's retirement from politics after being in power for almost 9 years. Outgoing Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha announced on Tuesday that he will leave politics and resign as a member of the United Thai Nation Party, and his statement was posted on the party's Facebook page yesterday. He expressed his wish that the party's leader and executive board members, as well as its members, would continue political activities with strong ideologies while protecting the country's institutions and taking care of the Thai people. He also asked that people continue to support the work of the party and express his thanks to people who supported the party as well as General Prayut in the general election in May. The party garnered about 4.7 million votes, which is about 12% of the voter turnout on the May 14 general election. And this gave the party 36 MPs altogether, which is considered good for a new party that just recently founded only like less than a year. And according to the statements posted on the Facebook page, he said that he has decided to be a member of the United Thai Nation Party because he wanted a party of quality with strong ideologies which loves the country, the religion, and the monarchy, as well as being a pillar for the country in the future. He said he was also impressed with the understanding, sympathy, and confidence he received from the people during his visits to meet them throughout the country. And he also concluded that he's happy that he had opportunities to listen to the opinions of the party members and the people, adding that these are valuable experiences which he will never forget. And of course, during the 9 years as Prime Minister, he said he had worked really hard and made best efforts to bring prosperity to the country and the public. And this is his last message as the Prime Minister of Thailand, as well as the member of the United Thai Nation Party. But speaking of his 9-year administration, well, almost 9 years, there have been memorable moments from General Prayut as well. One of them being, which one we should pick?
I would say one that I get requests from the foreign media the most is the one where he spray alcohol spray to the press at the press conference. That's the one we got inquiries the most.
That was one of the most iconic moments as well during his administration.
Anyway, like him or not, being Prime Minister is a very difficult job though.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he tried his best, even though he said so many times that he didn't want to do the job.
Right, but if we remember before the elections, he has expressed confidence that he will still win again. And I still remember the moment where he gave an impromptu interview with Thai PBS during the day when the MPs had to register their candidacy.
Right.
Yeah, he just said why don't you think that we will win the most seats in the general election, and gave this gesture, and people were cheering on him. That was
he
memorable
has his supporters.
as well.
Yes, and also another story might not be as big as the current Prime Minister resigned, but he is also, I would say, a very important personality in Thai politics. The former Prime Minister Thaksin, today his daughter told the media that, if you remember, leading up to the election, we heard many news, many reports, or he even said it himself that he wants to come back to Thailand.
Yeah.
It's like drum up for some kind of event to happen. But finally today, his daughter, Thaksin Shinawatra, which is the Prime Ministerial candidate of the Thai Party, said that might be changed a bit. Thaksin said last month that he would end his 17 years of self-exile this month because he wants to care for his grandchildren and is ready to serve the 10-year prison term for which he fled. His youngest daughter, Thaksin, said today that, however, she had just spoken to her father and he has changed his mind. She said his return is still on for sure, but it will be delayed a little bit, not this month. The delay is apparently because Thaksin does not want his return to be linked with the current political situation. Many, however, already regard his return as politically connected. Thaksin said that he does not want to return during a time of political chaos and cause more problems. It may not be in July, as earlier said. He wants to see the result of the election of the Prime Minister first. When asked whether her father would come back after the new government is established, she said he would like to wait until the political situation is calmer. Thaksin has announced 19 times throughout his years of exile that he wants to return home.
19 times, that is a lot, but considering the reasons, it's quite understandable because the political situation is still not that stable, considering that tomorrow, for example, and the lead up to that. So I don't think it's going to be like that easy for Thaksin to return at this time. And like you said, it is politically motivated or connected in some way when people talk about the return of Thaksin, whether it will benefit Pheu Thai party or benefit other parties or not.
Or not benefit Pheu Thai party if it come. It's just going to add complication to the whole situation.
Exactly. And speaking of tomorrow, it is expected that there might be mass demonstrations around the parliament as well. So an off-limit zone has been declared around the parliament in preparation of the mass protests during the parliamentary vote tomorrow. So police in Bangkok have declared an area within 50 meters of the parliament building off limits in anticipation of a mass protest by supporters of the Move For party who are expected to rally to offer moral support to Pita Limjaroenrat when parliament is scheduled to select Thailand's 30th prime minister tomorrow. Bangkok police have also put reinforcements on standby, including rapid mobile units and vehicles to cope with the situation. Spokesman for the Royal Thai Police, Police Lieutenant General Achayon Kraithong said today that Police General Roy Inkaphairod, the Deputy National Police Chief in charge of security affairs, has been appointed to oversee security, traffic management, and the overall situation in and around Parliament. He also said that if the demonstrators spill onto the road from the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration's Giagai Administrative Center, which can accommodate only about 500 people, the police will make adjustments to their plan and increase space for the demonstrators. He also urged the demonstrators to abide by the law by not causing a disturbance to people living in the area, not carrying offensive weapons, and refraining from inciting unrest during the demonstration. Motorists have also been advised to avoid the road in front of the parliament as well. Meanwhile, city officials will erect 16 tents and install additional lighting at the Giagai Administrative Center and at a children's playground, which will be open to accommodate the demonstrators. So tomorrow will definitely be a big day in Thai politics as well as for us as well, because we will be covering throughout the day as well as a special program in the evening as well to keep you updated of what is happening with the parliamentary vote.
The vote expected to begin around 5 p.m. as the House Speaker told the media earlier. And we have special program tomorrow beginning at 7 p.m. probably right in the middle of voting, or maybe they're still debating or explaining someday. But we will come with Dr. Jet Thonnawanit, our political analyst, and Frank will also be at the parliament. We will try to have him call in and tell us the update of what will be going on there live. So I think tomorrow will be interesting.
Very interesting indeed, especially if you're into Thai politics and especially if you're wondering whether Pita Limjaroenrat will eventually become the next prime minister. And by the meantime, don't forget to follow us on our website as well as our social media for the latest updates about Thailand, including Thai politics and all of the other things, as well as analyses. So thanks for watching and we'll see you tomorrow. สวัสดีค่ะ